Hello and all. Welcome to another episode of MMA Vision Analysis. This one we're talking UFC 309, specifically the first fight of the main card, the one that was at a catch weight, putting together Mauricio Ruffy versus James Llontop. What a fight. What a fight. We're going to get into this fight, a little bit more about Mauricio and actually James as well moving forward. But before getting started, make sure to like, subscribe so we can get our community 1,000 subscribers ASAP. That's much appreciated. Mauricio Ruffy, the first time, I have to be honest, that I watched him fight, I believe is the first time that he fought in the UFC, and that's the last fight, right? So he's had 2 fights in the UFC, if I'm not mistaken. Both of them spectacular performances. It doesn't really take a genius to look at something special and at least take notice that this guy truly has potential. We can't get quite ahead of ourselves quite yet, and I'll explain why in a little bit in terms of Ruffy. Obviously, James Llontop, heck of a fighter. I mean, the guy is so tough. It's unbelievable, but he has to be able to make weight. I believe I could be wrong, and I am taking a shot in the dark right now. But I think this is going to be a trend for James moving forward, him missing weight. I could be wrong, but I do understand that this fight was a replacement for another fight that did not happen. But hopefully that's not going to be the case for James moving forward. But most certainly he's a heck of a tough fighter, that's for sure. In terms of, Mauricio Ruffy, as I said earlier, the first time I watched the guy fight, I believe it was the first fight in the UFC. Like I said, it does not take a genius to know that you're looking at something special. And any other guy in the lightweight division yesterday, I believe, taking those shots that James took from Ruffy would have been out. The guy is spectacular, Mauricio. I mean, to say the least. He is so good. So good. So good. But, that being said, his stance is so wide. I question, what does he do against a wrestler the level of Makhachev? And I think Ruffy is going to quickly propel himself to the top of that division, the 28-year-old. And he's just he's just a fantastic. I mean, in all honesty, with yesterday's performance, this guy has to be top 3, or let's say top 5, just to be fair, top most entertaining active fighters in the UFC currently. And that's a short list. We have a lot of fighters in the UFC. It's saying a lot. Obviously, we can't get ahead of we cannot get ahead of ourselves in terms of Ruffy. Even though his opponent, UFC 309, was a heck of a tough fighter, Llontop. It's just, the guy's just, I was left in awe. In all honesty, I was just amazed at the guy's toughness. That being said, we're yet to see Ruffy against top contenders. He has to be tested more, obviously. But I think this guy is going to quickly propel himself to not only top of that lightweight division, perhaps even the welterweight division in the future, but the UFC in general. I mean, he has star power. His style is second to none. And I do understand it probably could be taxing, and he probably cannot sustain this style of fighting into the latter stages of his career. But and also one other thing, his wide stance is like all I can think about is, like, if you're against Makhachev, he's shooting for that single leg all day, and you are catching air. I mean, excuse me, I don't mean to be mean here. Obviously, standing up is just, the guy is, in all honesty, from what I saw yesterday, second to none in the lightweight division. Second to none. If anybody decides to stand with this guy, they'll be foolish, including Makhachev. and this is no disrespect to anybody. I'm just calling it how it is. But that being said, his wide stance, I think, leaves him vulnerable to the single leg all day against a guy like Makhachev. Just being honest. He did call out Benoit Saint Denis. I thought that was very interesting. This would be a fantastic fight to watch. And I think this fight would propel him to ranked opponents. Better ranked opponents. If you made it this far, I appreciate you for sticking around. Please let me know what you think in the comments and like, subscribe for more.